Hola tout le monde, I'm Automobile Fan and this is my channel. So welcome everyone, I hope you're doing very well, and this is my very first YouTube video, and the reason why I decided to start this new adventure is because I want to share with all of you everything I know about the supercar world. And I think the best way to start this new adventure is by introducing to you my own personal model car collection. So let's go for it. Alright guys, this is not my whole model car collection, this is just the 1/24 scale, because most of my model cars are from the 1/18 scale, but I have a few of the 1/24 scale which are pretty cool. So let's start with this. This is a Lamborghini Gallardo LP 560-4 made by Motormax. And this particular model car is very special for me because this represents the beginning of my collection. This is the first one that I bought many years ago. So as you can see, it's not in the best condition, but as I told you, this is pretty old. But it's something that I do really love and represents many things to me. I do really like it. So because this was the very first, I'm going to leave it here for the rest of the video. Keep moving on. This is a Jetta 1/24 scale Lamborghini Murcielago LP 640. This particular model was my favorite car many years ago, because the first time that I saw it was in the movie Batman The Dark Knight, and there's a fantastic scene in that movie where Bruce Wayne just drives this model and it's just amazing. And that's why I decided to buy one. Yeah, so this is pretty cool. Then I got a really particular model. This is Lamborghini Diablo made by Burago, and this is pretty interesting because this is like a Disney version. As you can see here, it says Disney, and here you can see one of the most iconic characters from Disney, which is Goofy. This was a gift from a friend of mine, and it's pretty cool actually. It's like something totally different that you will expect on a model car, but it's pretty cool to have it here in the collection. Very nice. Then I got here a Maserati Trofeo. This is a Maserati made for the track, so it's pretty cool. But to be honest, I don't really know many things about this particular model in real life, but I think it's pretty good to have like one car from that iconic Italian brand, which is Maserati. And finally, with the 1/18 scale, this is a Formula 1 McLaren. I'm not pretty sure, but I think this is a model from the early 90s, something like that. But it's really nice, really nice, and this is made by Burago. So now let's check out another part of my collection before we go with the 1/18 scale. So as I said before, this my very first model car is going to stay here, and now here I have my RC models, which are pretty cool. I got only 3. Let's start with this one. So this is the Ferrari FXX, which is pretty cool. You know, this car represents like the track version of the iconic Ferrari Enzo, which is really nice. Then this is a Lamborghini Aventador LP 700-4. You know, this was the very first version of the Lamborghini Aventador, and this is really nice. I used to play with this particular model many years ago, so it's not like in the best condition, especially if you take a look at this part. But it's really nice. I do really like it. And finally, with the RC models, here I have a Batmobile. This is a Batmobile from the Christopher Nolan trilogy, which is really nice. And curious fact about this particular, I would say, car. In the real life, it was inspired by all the Lamborghinis. I know that the shape is not like pretty similar, but that's why the director said about this Batmobile. But it's really nice. And because, as I said before, these are RC models, so I can't open the doors and all the things like that, but they're still really nice. So now it's time to check out the 1/18 scale, which is definitely my favorite part. So now let's start with the 1/18 scale, and as you can see, here's the Mercedes-Benz line, which is pretty cool. And let's start with the oldest one. This Mercedes 300 SLR. It's really nice. This is made by Maisto. Of course, with these models you can open the doors as well as the engine and the back as well. Really nice. And guys, now this is the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren. You know, this is such an iconic supercar from the early 2000s, and I think this car is pretty special in terms of the design. You know, I will always love that this design is pretty aggressive, but at the same it has a lot of class and, you know, that iconic sense of Mercedes combined with the McLaren spirit. It's really nice. Now, this is one of my favorite cars in the real life as well as in my collection. This is the Mercedes-Benz SLS AMG. I do really love this car because, well, as I said before, many of these cars I love them because they appear in movies. And this particular car appears in the Transformers movie, in the third one, Dark of the Moon. And when I saw that car in the movie, I was like, wow, what a beautiful car. So I decided to buy one. And of course this car doesn't have the same color as the Transformers one, but I do really like this, like a special red. And of course this has those iconic gold windows, really cool. And finally, to end with the Mercedes lines, but of course this is not exactly a Mercedes-Benz supercar. This is a Mercedes AMG supercar. This is the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. So this is like the current version that you can see now in the market. And something that I do really admire about these particular models is that they look really cool next to each other. And you can see like the evolution of Mercedes and their designs. And sorry, I forgot to tell you, just as this diecast model, these three are made by Maisto as well. So let's get going with the 1/18 scale models. So now guys, I have three more 1/18 scale. I decided to put these together because I don't have any other models from these brands, you know, Bugatti, Jaguar and Dodge. So I decided to introduce them together. So these are Dodge Viper RT10. This is really nice, and this car used to belong to a dear friend, and this car was his first model car, and he says like, this is a really special car for me and you have a really nice collection, so there you go, a nice addition to your collection. I said like, wow, really nice, thank you. So I do really like it, really cool. And it's pretty old, but it's still in good conditions, I would say. Yeah. Then let's go with something British. This is a Jaguar E-Type. So yeah, this is a really cool car, the Jaguar E-Type. As you must know, Jaguar is such an iconic brand that represents class and some sportive aspects as well. But I do really like this model, and the color is really cool. A really nice addition to the collection as a classic car. And finally, with these three particular models here, I have the Bugatti Chiron Sport. As you must know, Bugatti is such an iconic and important brand, famous because of the top speed, that W16 engine with more than 1500 horsepower. When I decided to buy this car, I was looking for a Alto Art Bugatti, but now that I can say that Alto Art has become pretty expensive. For example, now if you want to buy a Bugatti Chiron, it will cost around $250 or $300. So it's a lot of money, and definitely many years ago Alto Art wasn't that expensive. So that's because I decided to buy a Burago version, which is pretty cool, I would say. It has many details. You have here the rear wing, and it looks really nice in the collection. And of course it's not an Alto Art, it doesn't have the same kind of details, but it's really nice. This is made by Burago, just as this one and this one. Now let's keep moving on, and I will show you my Ferraris, my 1/18 Ferraris. So here we are with Ferraris. I don't have a lot of them, just two, and that's because many years ago I wasn't a real Ferrari fan. Now it's not that I am a Ferrari fan, but I do know more about them. So I just have these two. So let's start with this one. This is a Ferrari 512 Testarossa, which is really nice. This car was produced, I mean the real car was produced in the early 90s. And you know, it's really iconic, this car. You have, here you can see the lights, pretty cool. And the last of my two Ferraris, and is this one. This is a Ferrari 458 Spider made by Hot Wheels Elite. This car is not longer on production, so it's like a really nice car to have right now. It is really cool, and you know, the detail of a Hot Wheels Elite is pretty amazing. The original version of this car is only red, but I decided to customize it and put some stickers on it in order to make it similar with the, compare with the 458 Speciale. And something special to mention about this particular model is that it is one of 1500 that Hot Wheels Elite produced. So it's really nice to know that it was like kind of a limited edition. And now guys, let's go with Lamborghini. You know, Lamborghini is my second favorite supercar brand. It's pretty iconic, pretty aggressive with their designs, and I just love all of their models. They are amazing. Of course, my favorite now is the Aventador, but I do have many iconic supercars from Lamborghini. So let's start with this one. This is a Lamborghini Miura. They look similar because it's the same kind of model, but it's produced by different model car brands. This is produced by, let me see. This is produced by Enzo, really cool, and this is a Burago version. I won't say that this one is better than this one, or if this one is better than this model. While this have more details in the interior, this have more details in the engine. So I won't say that they are better, they are just different. But they are really nice, and you know, the Lamborghini Miura represents the beginning of Lamborghini. You know, the first Lamborghini model that was launched was the 350 GTV, but the supercar that really presents Lamborghini in terms of the supercar industry was the Lamborghini Miura. So this is really cool, and I really love that name, Miura. It's pretty like aggressive, iconic, and has something special. You know which car has a name like that, Miura, or in Spanish like it's Miura. I don't know. It has a lot of presence. You know, seems like a really strong name. Really nice, the Lamborghini Miura. So then keep moving on. This is I don't have the Lamborghini Countach, which was the model in between these two, but I got the Lamborghini Diablo. You know, the Lamborghini Diablo was produced during the decade of the 90s, and is, you know, that I think is now a classic supercar. I'm not really sure, but you know, it's another Lamborghini, which is pretty iconic. This is made by Burago. It is pretty old. This particular die-cast model is not in the best condition, but it still is really nice. And this particular color in the real life just looks amazing in the Lamborghini Diablo. And something special about this particular model, as I said, it is pretty old. And Burago, which is a model car brand, is an Italian brand, but now they produce all their models in China. But many years ago, they used to produce all their models in Italy, and this car is one of them. So having like a die-cast model from Lamborghini, which was made in Italy, it's something pretty amazing. It's like, this is a real Italian car. Really nice. So as you can see, pretty cool. Now let's check out this one. And this one is a Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. Of course, the real name will be Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. Is this one. So this car is like the new generation of their V12 model of Lamborghini. Here you can see like the evolution. The color is like a dark blue. You know, it's not a really famous or classic color of a supercar, but it still is pretty nice. And something particular about this model is that it has a manual transmission, really cool. And this car was made by Maisto. And now I'm not really sure, but I think Maisto owns Burago, which is the diecast brand that produced these two as well. So I think it's possible to say that they are now part of the same family. So let's keep moving with Lamborghini because I have many other models. So here we have more Lamborghinis, and this is the Lamborghini Gallardo LP560-4 made by Noref. And something good about this model, if you compare it with the Lamborghini Gallardo Spider that Maisto produced, and this has the roof, and something good is that you can take it off. It is pretty cool. Here you can see it. This has like more details if you compare with the Maisto of a Burago version, and I really like it. Here's the roof once again. And now here is the Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4. This is definitely one of my favorites in the collection. This particular gray looks amazing in this model, and as I made with the Ferrari 458 Spider, I decided to customize it by putting this sticker on it, which is pretty cool. And this is made by Burago, and I bought this model when the Aventador came out. And here's another Burago. This is the Lamborghini Huracan LP610-4. This particular car, I mean, the color is really nice. I do really like it. In the real version of the car, this color, it's called Verde Mantis. Here you can see it. And just as this Aventador and the Ferrari 458 Spider, I customized it by putting some stickers on it. Here you can see. And well, the reason behind why I like to customize my model cars is because I want to have like a one-of-one version, and I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not something like really special, so it's just like my style. So here we are with some other hypercars now, and this is the McLaren F1 prototype. You know, the McLaren F1 is that supercar, I would say maybe hypercar legend that broke the speed record many years ago. And now if you want to buy a real McLaren F1, that will cost around $15 million. That's because that car was different in every aspect. And now I think, and now having this particular model, I think is a really nice addition to my collection. This one used to belong to a friend, so it's not in the best condition. As you can see, it has some bad details on it. But it's really iconic to have this particular supercar, which is really cool. I will show you with the doors, which are butterfly doors, really nice. And now let's go with my favorite supercar, or I would say hypercar brand, which is Pagani Automobili Modena. And I got these two Pagani Huayras, and there are different versions, and they are made from different brands as well. Let's start with this one. This is a Pagani Huayra made by Motormax, and as you can see, this car has the Italian flag on it. As I said before, I like to customize my model cars, so this is a really nice addition that I made for this particular model, and I call it the Pagani Huayra, the one-of-one Pagani Huayra de Bandiera Edizione, which is in Italian, which means the Pagani Huayra flag edition. So it has really nice details here, here, on the sides, and on the back as well. So as you must know, if you collect model cars, Motormax, which is the brand that produced this model, is not famous because of their high detail models, and that's why I decided to buy this other Pagani Huayra. This is a Pagani Huayra made by GT Autos. This is my latest model car that I bought. I bought it 2 months ago. I was looking to buy a an Auto Art, but now they are pretty expensive. So I decided to buy a GT Autos, which is really nice. It has very nice detail, and obviously it's like the next level if you compare with this one. And it's not like an Auto Art, but I think it's really nice. And something really nice about this car is the price, which is pretty fair. It's around $150. You know, you get a really nice model car. You have carbon fiber texture here, and even it has this iconic characteristic of the Pagani Huayra, you know, in terms of the aerodynamics. Really cool. And you know, this car looks really amazing. And yes, definitely my favorite supercar or hypercar is the Pagani Huayra. It's my favorite because of what it is, you know. If you see a Pagani in real life, it's like a real masterpiece, you know. Every detail in a real Pagani is something amazing, it's something out of this world. And that's why I do have two Pagani Huayras. And now I'm searching for a Pagani Huayra Roadster. I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but maybe it will be the next addition to the collection. And before we continue, guys, I just wanted to let you know that I have another supercar model, which is not here with me right now, because I decided to customize it, and I think I'm gonna have it in a few weeks. So I will present it to you in future. But now let's continue with the Auto Art models. And if you don't know many things about the supercar model world, Auto Art is definitely one of the most high quality and detailed brands that produce these iconic and very special models. And it's definitely my favorite diecast brand. I got these models since many years ago, and something that I was saying when I present my Bugatti, oh, that sounds pretty cool, one day hopefully. But something I was saying about Auto Art is that nowadays all their models are pretty expensive. Definitely the value of their models increased many levels, but I don't really understand what's behind the Auto Art decision, and the simple way to say it is because of cost. That's it. Probably I will do a video in future talking about what's happening with Auto Art, but in the meantime, let's keep going with this. So here, my friends, this is Auto Art version of the Lamborghini Reventon. If you don't know about this particular model in the real life, the Lamborghini Reventon was a limited edition supercar or maybe hypercar. Please let me know in the comment section, do you think the Lamborghini Reventon is a hypercar or a supercar? Well, keep talking about the Lamborghini Reventon. It was launched in 2008, and it was, as I said, a limited edition. They only produced 20 units, and this car was like a Lamborghini way to say to the public that they were working in new designs in terms of the V12 model, which at that time was the Lamborghini Murcielago. So this car is like the transition between the Lamborghini Murcielago and the Lamborghini Aventador, like this. So it's pretty nice to have it here. And you know, as I said, Auto Art has many good details. There you can see with the open doors. I will show you a little bit of the engine as well. There it is. Of course, it has the aerodynamics as well. Let me show you. There it is. Pretty nice. And this car is a Auto Art performance version. If you don't know, once again, about Auto Art, they have two different versions, which are the Auto Art Performance and the Auto Art Signature. The Performance line is a little bit more like normal production, and the Signature line is a little bit more like limited and special. So now here's another Lamborghini made by Auto Art. This car has a really long name. It's the Lamborghini Gallardo LP570-4 Super Trofeo Stradale. This car in the real life was a limited edition of a Lamborghini Gallardo Super Trofeo. It's pretty much the same as the Lamborghini Gallardo Super Leggera, but it was like a tribute for the Lamborghini Super Trofeo race team. So it's really cool, and I really like the spec of this car. As you can see, it has red calipers, which matches with the rear wing and even the interior. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it, but it has like a red interior. Yeah, this is really cool. So this is a really nice model car, I really like it. And here I have my two AutoArt signature. And this is a McLaren MP4 12C. And as I said, something special that you get with the AutoArt signature line is that it is a limited edition. I don't really know how much they produce, but I think they produce 10,000 units, which is really nice. And something that you get with these models is this, a certificate of authenticity. And as you can see, from those 10,000 units, this is the 166. A little manual where you can see some information about the real model, and you get some other pictures and stuff like that of these 1/18 scale from AutoArt signature. And finally, this is the Lamborghini Aventador Roadster. It's the Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4 Roadster. I do really love this car. The detail is just amazing. And if you know the real Aventador Roadster, you can take the roof off and put it in the front, and that's something that you can actually do with this model as well. And as I said before, the Aventador is really special for me. That V12 engine sounds amazing. That's why I decided to buy this model. And the first time that I saw a Lamborghini Aventador Roadster in the real life, definitely changed my mind. So since that moment I prefer a convertible version of any model. In most of the cases, I will say. And as I said, this is an AutoArt version. I will open the doors of it. Let me show you. Ooh. The thing with the AutoArt versions is that they have a little mechanism here. And there you can see it with the open doors. Classic scissor doors of the Lamborghini. There you go. You can even have the rear wing up. There you go. And just as with the McLaren, I get this, a certificate of authenticity. For those 10,000, this is the 497 number. So this is really nice, and a little manual as well. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a little bit long, but I think it's what it takes when you do a complete model car collection video. And I'm planning to do a singular video or review to all my models in order to show you a little bit closer all the details of each one of these cars. So that's it, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you like it, you know what to do. And I'll be very grateful with all of you if you go and subscribe and turn on those post notifications, because I'll probably keep doing videos of my supercar, well, model supercar collection. I'm gonna be doing real reviews with real supercars, and we want to be discussing news of the supercar world and do stuff like that. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much and hope to see you soon. Thank you.